Testing microphone. Yeah, um, ladies and gentlemen, this year's Elcrest Safety Day celebration, and like we all know, the caption for this year's celebration is comply, intervene, and respect. Without much ado, we go straight to the first item in the agenda, which is the safety moment. So we're going to play a video, and so you relax and watch the safety moment video. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to our 2024 edition of our Elcrest Safety Day celebration. The theme of this year's celebration is comply, intervene, respect. Without much ado, we'll sit back and watch a video of the safety moment. So the safety moment video we play immediately, and after that we'll have commentaries. Thank you very much.
No, tomorrow have not, the video have not been sent out. Have you accepted? Check. Which network are you using? Have you seen? You need to send the video out now. Let's stop out.
I can hear from YouTube.
You're supposed to be here.
Very clear. So, can we play the safety moment video?
Should I go ahead?
people are on Teams?
Because in the live session, I can't see that.
Okay, you can see that.
So, apologies, those of you who are having challenges joining, there's a Teams link that was sent by Charles about 9:40 a.m. this morning. Please click that link and you will hear the session that is ongoing. Yes, that's it.
His CEO is saying that he's not hearing you. Can you confirm, are you hearing Chooks? But could you hear him? So if the voice is coming through YouTube, why is it not coming through the Teams?
It's working because of the heaviness of
Confirm you can hear me. Betioku, confirm you can hear me.
Then it means that you have up to turn live.
Yo, Puama, confirm you can hear me. Lagos, confirm you can hear me. So, just to summarize the safety moment video, it clearly depicts and shows the role of the frontline supervisor. The frontline supervisor have the capacity to motivate his subordinates. He also has the capacity to mete out consequence management. He has the capacity to motivate the team. So the CAT, safety moment, in the beginning, you saw the CAT moving and a couple of distractions, and it took the intervention of the supervisor to redirect the CAT and ensure motion was achieved. So we believe in the role of the frontline supervisor as the man that can make things happen. He has the powers to motivate. He has the powers to ensure his team achieves set objectives, and if needed, the frontline supervisor has the powers to mete out consequence management. Thank you, everyone. And at this juncture, the next item in the agenda will be the opening remark by the Managing Director of Elcrest. MD, sir.
I think I should remove my jacket. Appear compliant. Yeah, good morning, colleagues. Good morning, colleagues. It's my pleasure to make a few remarks in this our event today, the HSC week, which we hold very highly in Elcrest, and every one of us knows why, because this is a matter of life and death, and we need to be alive to be able to do the work which we have come to do in Elcrest. So without much ado, the HSC manager, Dr. Chusumega, has introduced the theme of this year's HSC week, which is comply, intervene, and respect. And in my opinion, this summarizes the whole effort we are making in the HSC front. First, to commemorate the sad event that took place in our workplace at BRVS on the 7th of July 2020. And since after then, we have focused on HSC to ensure that BRVS never happened again. We have also walked through themes like, staying on the left side of the bow tie and, focusing on the life-saving rules. And this year, we are upholding this theme, comply, intervene, and respect, which in my opinion summarizes the 18 life-saving rules that we have put in place. So I enjoy each and every one of us to really participate in the event today actively and going forward. I'm happy to also note that significant milestones since after that sad event. We've achieved from the 8th July 2020 to date 9.9 million man-hours LTI free. And for this year alone, from January 1 to date, we've achieved 1.4 million. So we have every cause to be, to congratulate ourselves for the incredible journey we have begun, reflecting on the lives that were lost on that fateful day of 7th July 2020. We hope that with this effort we are making, that we will never have to tell such a story again in our operations. And I hope that by upholding these principles of complying, intervening where necessary, and respecting all the rules and our colleagues and the environment and everything else, then we will always go back to our families, to our homes, the way we came. And that is the essence of the celebration we are doing today. And that I hope that we will take it serious as a serious business, because without safety, without health, none of us can think about delivering anything. And indeed, for the worst case, we might not go back standing. And we don't want to tell such stories. We don't want to appear before families to tell such stories. So I enjoy each and every one of you. Please respect all our HSC rules, work permit, all the things contained in our 18 life-saving rules. Comply with them. Intervene when you see somebody going against any of these things, because that is a matter of life and death. And you are empowered, like the HSC manager has said, that everyone is empowered to stop work if it is not being done in the right way. So thank you all, and please do enjoy the HSC Week 2024. Thank you.
You can do something better for our capacity, MD. Or you were waiting for policy statement? Next on the agenda is the commemoration video of 777. After that, we will hear from the CEO. Sit back and watch.
On this day, our heartfelt condolences goes out to the family of Kenneth, Gift, Kelvin, Michael, Duke, Festus, and Solomon. The management and staff of Elcrest Exploration and Production Nigeria Limited will surely miss you. Words cannot describe the feeling of today. Let's observe a minute's silence for the souls of the dearly departed. May your souls rest in peace.
Thank you. May I now invite the COO for his comments. COO, sir.
On this day, our heartfelt condolences goes out to the family of Kenneth, Gift, Kelvin, Michael, Duke, Festus, and Solomon. The management and staff of Elcrest Exploration and Production Nigeria Limited will surely miss you. Words cannot describe the feeling of today. Let's observe a minute's silence for the souls of the dearly departed. May your souls rest in peace. On this day, our heartfelt condolences goes out to the family of Kenneth, Gift, Kelvin, Michael,
Thank you, CEO. On that agenda, we have 1 minute silence for the departed heroes. Having heard from the CEO, please let's observe 1 minute silence for them, starting now. May the souls of the departed rest in peace. Amen. Next on the agenda is a video documentary part 1. For this year, we have compiled 3 videos according to the theme of this year's celebration. We are going to watch part 1 now, which is the intro and the comply section. Please sit back and watch. Thank you.
Dear colleagues, it is with great honor that I welcome you all to our 2024 Safety Day celebration. This day vigilance and innovation. As we move forward, we must continue to embrace new technologies and methodologies. Dear colleagues, it is with great honor that I welcome you all to our 2024 Safety Day celebration. This day is dedicated to recognizing and reinforcing our commitment to ensuring the highest standards of safety within our organization. As you all know, safety is not just a priority, it is a core value that underpins everything that we do at Elcrest. First and foremost, I would like to express my gratitude to every one of you for your unwavering dedication and maintaining a safe work environment. Your diligence and adherence to safety protocols have been instrumental to achieving our safety goals and milestones. Today, we not only celebrate our accomplishments, but also renew our pledge to continuous improvement in safety standards. Our journey towards a safer workplace is ongoing. Since the unfortunate incident of the 7th of July 2020, where we lost 7 of our colleagues, we have implemented numerous safety initiatives which have been instrumental to our maintaining Goal Zero to date. The initiatives have significantly reduced the number of incidents and have fostered a culture where safety is second nature to all our employees. I am proud to say that our collective efforts have resulted in achieving over 9 million LTI-free man-hours from July the 8th, 2020 to date, a feat that is worthy of commendation. However, our work is far from over. Safety is an evolving challenge that requires constant vigilance and innovation. As we move forward, we must continue to embrace new technologies and methodologies to mitigate risk. It is also crucial that we maintain open communication channels where every employee feels empowered to report hazards and suggest improvements. Let us remember that safety is a shared responsibility. It requires the commitment of every individual from the boardroom to the shop floor. By fostering a culture of safety, we protect not only ourselves, but also our colleagues, our families, and our communities. Today, as we celebrate our 2024 Safety Day, let us reaffirm our dedication to safety. Let us take pride in our achievement, learn from our experiences, and strive to create an environment where safety is integral to our operations. Together, we achieve our vision of a zero-incident workplace. In conclusion, I would like to thank each and every one of you for for your contribution to our safety efforts. Your hard work, vigilance, and dedication are what makes our organization a safe place to work. Let's continue together, support each other, and lead by example in our commitment to safety. Thank you, and let's make 2024 our safest yet. Sincerely, Dr. Andrew C. Zoigwe, Chairman.
We celebrate Elcrest HSC Week every July 7th in commemoration of the sad event that happened in Elcrest operation at Benin River Valve Station, BRVS, on the 7th of July 2020, where we lost 7 lives. Since after that event, we vowed that we will heighten every part of our HSC management at our work locations, in the office, and everywhere, and in fact build a culture that recognizes HSC as the foremost area of focus to allow the business to thrive. 2021, we started off by celebrating, remembering that incident that took the life of 7 of our colleagues on the 7th of July 2020. And so by 2021 July, we had a team called BRVS Never Again. And that inspired all of our workforce to recognize that such sad events will not happen again in our operation. And then the following year, in 2022, we said the theme of that HSC week was tagged staying on the left side of the bow tie, and that meant that we should always, preempt any unsafe situation and do something before it materializes. And so far so good. That has been yielding the desired fruit. And then in 2023, we progressed this effort by celebrating a theme called Life-Saving Rules, obeying the life-saving rules. And the effort during the 2023 HSC Week celebration was to ensure that the entire workforce, especially those in the front line, understand the do's and don'ts that guarantee the safety of everyone involved in our operation. And we made efforts for people to internalize these rules and work with them. So naturally, it then flows to this year's theme in 2024 HSC Week, which is comply, intervene, and respect.
Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, welcome to 2024 edition of our Safety Day. To just take our mind back a little bit, so this Safety Day event started after an unfortunate incident in 2020, where we lost 7 of our colleagues, sons, brothers, uncles, during the sad incident in 2020. In 2021, we had the first edition to mark that anniversary. We titled it BRVS Never Again. And for BRVS not to happen again, it therefore means that we need to have imbibed all the lessons from 2020 that led to that unfortunate incident. In 2022, we went from BRVS Never Again. In 2021, we then went to say that we want to stay on the left side of the bow tie. Staying on the left side of the bow tie means we have a chronic unease towards accidents and events that can lead to incidents.
It then means that we are taking proactive steps to prevent the accident so that we do not get to a top event and get to accident and incident. In 2023, we followed through by then saying, obey the life-saving rules. So that will help us to stay on the left side of the bow tie and also help us to ensure that BRVS never happens again. On the life-saving rules, we talked about always wearing your personal flotation devices and then not getting into confined space and doing everything that we had in the 18 life-saving rules. 2024, we then make it personal, and we are bringing those roles and responsibilities to individuals. And what we've captioned this year is to comply, to intervene, and to respect. And then the question that comes is, comply with what? And what does intervention therefore mean? And what does the respect part of it mean? So we break it down a little bit. As an individual, as corporate entity, we want to comply with the extant laws, we want to comply with the rules, we want to comply with the regulations. So that is very, very critical. It therefore means that we must at all times demonstrate that we are complying with those. We want to comply with the life-saving rules, which we talked about in 2023. We want to comply with everything that we have said there, so no night journeys, proper journey management, no entry into confined spaces, ensuring that we carry out gas tests when we are doing flammable work in a hydrocarbon charged environment. So first, that is compliance, and it's important, and we do not joke with that. We want everyone who works for Elcrest to be absolutely compliant with those laws that we have set down. Then we'll go to the second aspect, which is to intervene. Intervention requires courage. It requires boldness. It does not come to us naturally as individuals. And why do we need to intervene, you may ask? We need to intervene because we need to be our brother's keepers, we need to be our sister's keepers. It then means that when we see any of our kids doing anything that is not complying with the law, anything that is leading to an exposure that will lead to an accident, we must intervene. Intervention requires courage, like we said, but it's also important that we intervene respectfully. So we need to be mindful that the three M's of intervention is the message, the messenger, and the medium. They both have to line up for the intervention to be effective. And that's what we ask our people to therefore do. And then the last part of it is respect. So what do we mean when we say respect? We want you to respect the environment in which we are operating, which means that we are not spilling into the environment, which means that we are not allowing any environmental degradation through our acts at any point in time. It also then means that we are respecting our neighbors, our communities. It means that we treat them with the utmost respect that they deserve at all times. And finally, it also means that we are respecting our own colleagues, our own co-workers. At every point in time, we show that respect and we treat them respectfully. So if we bear all of this in mind, it helps us to then make sure and reinforce it, to make sure we stay on the left side of the boat and reinforces the previous messages across all of the editions of the Safety Day.
I'm actually very delighted to see the journey and improvement journey of Elcrest team on safety since the last BRVS incident. And having chosen the 7th of July every year as Safety Day has, in the past years, strengthened the operational safety of Elcrest team. I would really like to commend the team for that very effort. Coming to this year's theme for Elcrest Safety Day celebration, which says comply, intervene, and respect. For me personally, those are three very key fundamental words that define a very sustainable safety journey. First of all is around compliance. You, as a responsible individual, responsible corporate organization, compliance is the bedrock for everything you do. And I'm also very delighted that Elcrest has chosen this year to build on compliance. And compliance simply means everyone doing what is right, even when no one is watching.
It's been a journey, and credit must go to everyone, management staff, on the journey so far since that unfortunate incident. We also take the opportunity to remember the victims of 7th of July 2020 and pray that God continue to support and provide hope to their families. So the theme is very instructive. It's important that we continue on the journey, recognizing that we need to continue to improve.
In my years in Elcrest, about 5 years, a particular day continues to live in infamy that we'll never forget, and that's July 7, 2020, where we lost 7 souls. It's a day that's difficult to forget. It's also a day that we can flip on 2 sides. 1, infamy. 2, things we should do and things we should not do. So from an HSE perspective, we lost 7 souls. May their soul rest in peace, continue to rest in peace. Also from an HSE perspective, it changed the face of the company. It changed our outlook. It changed the way we operate. It brought to the forefront the importance of safety, hence the importance of the HSE department, and how critical it is.
This is another opportunity to further ingrain what we have been doing after the July 7/7 incident. As an organization, this is a date that we don't forget. As an individual, it's a time I remember every day. So it's not just an anniversary. Each time I wake up and I want to come to work, and I even do work at home, the idea of making sure that things are done safely and in line with the process cannot be overemphasized. Even simple things can become big problems.
July 7, 2020 is still very fresh in my mind. It's hard to believe that it's already been 4 years since that incident occurred. It just feels like yesterday, that Tuesday when we got the news of the incident that had occurred. BRVS never again, and we still stand on, even though this year's theme is different, but we still stand on BRVS never again, because that was the foundation of our HSC Day, which is almost like a memorial for the 7/7 event. This year's theme is very interesting. Comply, intervene, respect, and even though it's HSC, it affects every part of the business.
The industry we operate in is an industry of very high risk activities that are capable of taking lives, maiming people. We've had situations where people got either amputated in the course of work, died because they did not do what they were supposed to do rightly. Now, to ensure that people work and return home alive and in good shape, laws are put in place in our operations. And a lot of them industry-wide, is commonly known as the health, safety, and environmental laws that are meant to guide the activities of the workers so that they do the right thing and their life. They work, return home, return back to work again.
The main focus here is for everyone to comply with the rules that we have set up in both initiating any operation, any work activity. There are policies, rules, laws that we have set up that we expect everyone working in our operation areas and indeed carrying any activity to comply with.
Particularly tuning into the theme for this year, which says the first thing is to comply, which, to a great extent, and this is not just relevant to commercial, we have continued to improve on the level of compliance, especially with the frontliners, wherein focus has been on not just asking people to comply, but empowering them to do so. As you know, one of the areas that we have improved is the stop work, and that has not just become applicable to the field people, but also to people in my team. We all don't want to walk past things that present risk to us. We want to, as much as possible, encourage people to comply, and then put our best foot forward when it comes to compliance.
As legal compliance and external relations, comply, intervene, and respect means that in all our dealings, in all our contracts, in all our documentation, we should ensure that HSE standards, HSE rules, as it relates to regulatory compliance, must be adhered to.
For this year's theme, Facilities Department, we had a contractor doing some piling works at Upwama for the Upwama Flight Station upgrades. And I want to use this year's theme of comply, intervene, respect to demonstrate how the Facilities Department understands the HSE procedures, as well as complementary procedures, things like journey management and security and all of that. And intervene in that there was a high potential incident and what did we do, and respect in that what was the after action review where we shared and cascaded the learnings from this high potential incident. So in summary, what happened was that during the piling works, the piling hammer disengaged from its tripping device and fell into the water. And in terms of the departments, in that, how did we comply prior to that incident? We ensured that we carried out a detailed pre-mod inspection of all the equipment that was going to be used for that project. We checked all the personnel, that they were competent to carry out the work. Of course, we had competent supervisors at the location every day for all the works that were being carried out. So to that extent, the department fully understood the company's policies regarding HSE, and we did comply. However, there was a high potential incident with the hammer that fell into the water. So what was the first step in terms of intervention? The work site was stopped.
Like the job, compliance is key, whether it's financial compliance, control compliance, governance compliance. Another key aspect is safety compliance. How do I ensure that as a senior manager in this company, in my day-to-day role, I show example in complying with those safety aspects, and I also direct and motivate those that report to me or that do not report to me to comply with that safety aspect.
This year, our focus is to ensure that we comply. There is no compromise. There is no reason not to comply. Compliance, we must do.
As it relates to HSE, comply is like encouraging us sort of to really follow all the safety regulations. If there are rules, if there are procedures, and whatever thing that is a standard that we need to follow, we follow. That's comply. We comply to it. Anything that promote our HSE awareness, our HSE knowledge, and HSE activities that make the facility safe, yeah, we comply. So that, to me, that's what comply is all about. All our standards, regulations, and things that promote safety.
Comply, it's a thing of the mind. And I would really want to appreciate the team for this year's HSE Day. And why I say this is because for anybody to comply, the mind must first comply. You know, complying does not have to necessarily be when you're under watch. the best form of complying is when you're not being watched, when you're not being monitored, and you know the rules and regulations, the do's and the don'ts that you're supposed to comply in. And this starts from the mind. And I think if there is anything we need to do, HSE is something that we need to work on the mind, the consciousness of people, that even when you're off the area, that mindset of always complying is always there.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video, the first part of our entire video, talking about comply. So now we are gonna break away for 15 minutes. We want each location to brainstorm, and at the end of 15 minutes, we want a rep from each location to come forward and brief us on what each team think about comply. What is your view about the first part of the team, comply? So by 11:20, we'll convene by 11:20. Please stay tuned, brainstorm, and let's come back by 11:20 and listen to rep from each location to brief us on the first part of the team, comply. Thank you very much.
For those on locations, please know that it's a live streaming event. For those on locations, please note that it's a live streaming event. We are not asking you to leave the venue. We are still watching from this end, and other people are watching online too. Thank you.
No, they are discussing now, at least we are seeing them. So for Lagos office, some is connected. Some of that.
Can you hear James?
I'm not remaining.
Can you hear James?
Who's James?
Yeah, great. As the beginning.
It's your screen me on just broadcasting. If I can hear it. This is my screen.
So they need to enable your audio.
It's another. It's another.
No, not your own. Them.
That means your mic is off.
Yeah, the mic is off.
Okay, can you hear me now? My mic is on mute.
You just mute it now.
I just muted now.
Yeah, that's for me. Because it's not.
No, it's not here. No, to hear them.
Like one of these things that you can Jamie should be happy now.
Are you hearing some?
I was hearing what you guys said. You just mute it now. You just mute it now. I'm not documenting this phone.
No, from to it should be. It's been. You can't hear them. You can't hear them.
This is just saying I'm hearing it on YouTube.
Is it on online?
Have you? Have you?
It's on online. Yeah.
Okay, beginning and then go there also. You understand? This life shall say, I don't believe. So what is it coming from? So we have Africa. No, listen. How about I talk? They can't switch up. Can do that one is on transmitter. So you can just do cut away of them. Just format and
Can you show Lagos brainstorming? Okay. Show Lagos in the brainstorming session. Is that the last? That's it. When did the thing got? I don't know. This way you said it. Good. That's what I'm saying now. Except these two. Except these two. 1, 2. You see this one and this one. These are their one. This one, evidence, see what they will give. So for these ones, they have 100,000 naira. So everybody from your phone is yes.
Can you show them? Yeah, we on it. We show them.
Some part of the conversation is just entry. Is your phone?
Let me shift.
Off your phone. Their own screen there. There is their own screen. We display. It hasn't. You need to off the transmitter on it again. Let me continue. I don't give me baby to be. Okay, that's the next location. Yes, I think you need to dedicate a day to put out this stream. We should be able to sync it. Yeah, no, I hear it. Nobody called. So, this will happen. And after that, send you a so that you create live event next week. I don't know that. I come closer.
No, I want to ask, in what order do we call the locations for the spokesperson?
Just use your discretion.
Once I call, you.
You know what? You know pick. You don't pick now. Are you sure it's not the distance? No. You will be the distance.
So, the spokesperson for Lagos, can the person come here?
Yes, he's ready.
You can see this camera.
Yes, I can see.
You can see it.
Okay. Can you go there? Make that person not come here. No. During that time, the person will come downstairs. Can you still see? Yes, I can see. As he's going. If it's in position, we can.
we'll start from Benin office. So Benin office, you are going to be live now. Let your representative summarize all your thoughts in 2 minutes. Comply. So Benin office, you have the mic now. So Benin office, please unmute yourself and summarize in 2 minutes your team's agreement on concurrence on the first part of the team. Comply. Benin office, unmute yourself, and there you go.
Okay. Yeah, we've actually unmuted ourselves. Can everybody hear us? Okay, there is some time lapse. There is a delay due to the poor network. But what we're doing is taking a cue, especially from what the panel members spoken earlier, to comply to HSC rules, regulations. It's not just your superiors or your work colleagues around you. You learn to comply. Even when nobody is watching you, you take a cue from that. And I think that's very important. If you comply to rules when nobody is seeing us, I think it becomes part of our culture, and the will or the tendency to break any safety rules, regulations will then disappear from our workforce. So that's what we all agree when it comes to comply, and we all comply that to comply is to agree to do exactly what the safety rules and regulations are enlisted and trying to also carry out in our day-to-day operation. Thank you very much. I think we will end here. Anybody want to add something to that?
Well, you have said it all. Compliance has to do with following, adhering, obeying instructions, and those instructions will come in form of rules, standard regulations, and otherwise. So if we do not comply, definitely it will result in an unforeseen incident or unforeseen incident. It could lead to injury or even fatality. So thank you.
Thank you. That's from the Benin office.
You're done. Okay, thank you very much from Benin office. We'll go over to Betioku Field. The rep for Betioku Field, in 2 minutes, come online and summarize to everyone your team's understanding of the first part of this year's team, Comply. So you have the microphone now.
Okay, good day, everyone. Please confirm you can hear me from Betioku. Okay. Good day, everyone. We just finished our section here. I just want to give a brief, concise summary of what transpired here in the last 15 minutes. I started it by stating the mind of the crew. I think the question I asked was, do we have any reason not to comply with our rules here, most especially the 18 life-saving rules?
From the response I got from the personnel, obviously we are doing well in compliance, but there are some issues. The issue bank engagement. One of it being that some contractors have personnel on board who ordinarily will comply with our PPE policy, but they're constrained because the contractors are not providing them with the right the complete PPE for them to work. Apart from that, other issues that have to do with observation cards, filling our digital observation card, they are not really doing well because some of them are complaining that most of those times they keep repeating the same concern over and over, and according to them that they are not getting any good response from the onshore management. But and of course, other issues like dressing well, coming to the garden to eat, and no fighting on site, no alcohol on site. We all agree that we are doing very, very well. I think that is just the snippet of what happened here, and it concerns opinion from the Soko field. Thank you. This is Chris reporting from the Soko field.
Yeah, thanks. Chris Morris from Betioku. Thank you very much. It shows that you and your team really understand the first part of this year's team comply. Thank you very much again from Betioku. So we are going over to BRVS. BRVS, are you there? Yeah, Prince and Tim, you have the mic now.
Yes.
Unmute yourself. Prince, if you can hear me, unmute yourself and you have the mic.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, Prince, go ahead. You have the floor. Go ahead, Prince. Speak. Prince, can you unmute yourself? We can't hear you, Prince. Prince, unmute yourself and give us your team's understanding of comply. We have network challenges from BRVS, so we go over to Opuama. Opuama, let's hear from Opuama location. Can your rep come to the microphone and give us your teams?
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for putting together today's event.
Derek, Isaiah, I can see you. Isaiah and team, you have the floor now. 2 minutes.
Okay, good morning and good morning to the team. Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me? Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Please confirm if you can hear us. Please confirm if you can hear us from the week BEL location. Hello. Can you hear us, please?
Yes, go ahead. We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, wonderful. All right. This year's team is quite striking, quite informative, and it gives us the reason to continue to stay on top of our business, because without compliance, basically everybody will work with their own personal standard, and we don't want that. We want to work with company standard and ensure that we still safe, following procedures and policies as required. Now, with reference to ensuring compliance, we discussed this even yesterday during our weekly HSC meeting, where we reviewed the life civil rules, and we also reviewed the PP, the need for compliance with it strictly. These were discussed yesterday. I mean, work stem, particularly with reference to ongoing activities, and the need for everyone to walk the talk, go around the work area, make sure that responsible persons respect the area, the right equipment and policies and procedures are being followed. Workers are in place for construction that are going on relocation here. So also making sure that people don't stand suspended loan in line with staying clear of line of fire. So out here, we just had the week the first year of this yesterday, and the strict compliance with reference to what we report in the meeting yesterday. So we also shared our licensing rules in the course of our discussion here. We shared our licensing rules, we discussed them, learning from incidents, and the need for us to stay compliant with particularly face and protection, which is the most abused PPE. We advise everyone to please ensure that they wear their safety glasses while leaving their accommodation to the operational area, because an incident that happened in time past, not in this location, there's something that was shared in the industry where someone lost their eye because he failed to put on his safe glasses, and a metal chip flew into his eyes during the electric connection hiring, and making sure that people walk into require standard procedures. Find something going wrong, you don't just stand back and walk. Make sure that the person is in the job and correcting him. It could be a new person I also want to ask stop the person and
BRVS, are you ready? Yeah, BRVS, we are waiting for you to come online. Can you go live now? Okay, while waiting for BRVS to come live, let's listen to the team review from Lagos. Yeah, Lagos, please come online and give your team's review.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. For us in Lagos office, for the team for this year, one of it is comply. And like we all said during our discussion, comply simply means doing it without your supervisor or anybody that is a leadership around you. That is doing it by yourself, even without anybody supervising you. That is the simply meaning for me, for us in Lagos office as comply. So complying with that simply means that we are ready to remove anything that's going to cause us accident or anything that will cause us any near miss in our operation. We want to maintain a go zero operation. So it means that everything we do, we must comply to the HSE rules and HSE procedure. To crown it all, I want to say, for us in Lagos office, we want to continue to comply and continue to be in the business of production and exploration. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Lagos. Straight to the point, brief and straight to the point. Thanks again, Lagos. So let's go over to BRVS again. Prince and Tim, are you ready? BRVS. Yeah, BRVS, we're waiting for you to come online.
Prince Oji, right?
Yes, Prince. Yeah, Prince is live.
Can you hear me?
Prince and BRVS, we thank you for your contribution. At this juncture, we go to the second part of the video. We'll go over to the second part of the video intervene. So sit back and watch the intervene video clip.
When you are carrying out your production and maintenance operation, every personnel must comply with the safety rules that the company has set up in our HSE management system, and particularly the 18 house rules. Now with the 18 house safety house rules, governing house rules, once you comply to those rules and you respect them, and of course you comply in a way that will ensure that safety is your watchword and you follow through with safety.
In our operations, most of the times we work with contractors and we ensure that these contractors follow our stipulated regulations such as oil mineral safety regulation and EGASPIN. These contractors most times bring in equipment and personnel to site, so we'll ensure that the equipments are properly pre-mobbed. We ensure that the personnel are properly inducted to ensure that they follow the regulatory compliance, what is stipulated in EGASPIN, ensuring that the equipments are properly pre-mobbed, ensuring that the personnel who wants to carry out this job are competent to, to carry out the job to avoid accident and incident. So these are things that we do. In our operations, we also follow up with our equipment. Those who are due for certification, third-party certification, we certify them to ensure that we follow our policies, procedures, and the respective laws.
For you to succeed in HSE business, you have to comply with a lot of standards. We have a lot of guidelines, policies that will lead us to best safety practices, both in our operation, not only just in our operation, you can also cascade it down to your home, because safety is everywhere. And that's why we continue to maintain that safety is a teamwork. Anywhere you are, within your family is a teamwork. Outside your family is also a teamwork. So that's why we maintain that these standards, once you comply with it, it will help you to improve your business financially, economically, and otherwise. But once you bypass all these policies, that's exactly, you're heading to disaster. And that's exactly what happened in that April you have mentioned. So sometimes, if we are doing a hot wall job, for instance, we bypass the necessary things we have to do. We are looking for a disaster. The recent one we had in one of the assets, the confined space, at interval, you have to check the level of oxygen there. They failed to do that at intervals, and somebody slumped and collapsed. It's really a very bad situation because it wiped out all our man-hour we have gained, and we're indicted as an organization. It affected our image, it affected our finance, it also affected our duty of care to our workers.
When you talk about complying, you can't really run an organization without compliance, otherwise we'll be running in chaos. So even from HR or community relations or security perspective, we are guided by processes, procedures, guidelines that help us to ensure that we're working in the right order of events, to avoid a chaotic environment.
It's important for us to comply with our policies, HSE policies, make sure that every member of the Elcrest team respects the 18 safety rules, and that we respect applicable laws and regulations regarding safety. It's important for us to re-emphasize this and continue to make sure that everyone within Elcrest or newly engaged in Elcrest is properly inducted into this safety philosophy, so that everybody that works in our operations, whether in the office or in the field, comes standing up and they go back standing up.
Comply essentially speaks to laws,
it speaks to standards, it speaks to procedures. Right, so if you look at the work we do on a daily basis, right, we deal with things that require compliance with standards and established procedures. Okay, so we deal with wells, delivering wells, managing wells, ensuring that our wells are safe and that we know it. So you can't do this if you work outside of the known standards and procedures.
Relating to what I do at my department, we ensure that we comply, we ensure that we obey all the regulations, we ensure that we obey all the HSE rules by, first of all, identifying most of them and put them in the program. And then we ensure that if you go to the drilling supervisor's office, most of the regulations are pasted on the wall. So that becomes a reminder for people to ensure that they always comply with those regulations. And like I say, we have to put them in the program. And even when the drilling supervisors are preparing their specific instructions to everybody, they have to itemize some of the critical rules as well to ensure that people don't miss them.
In Elcrest, we have policies and procedures, and we strive to consistently apply these policies and procedures. And besides application of these policies and procedures, we also make sure that our employees comply with them. Besides complying with them, we also try to identify barriers to this compliance to these policies and procedures. We identify those barriers, we remove those barriers. And again, we also use training to reinforce staff's appreciation and compliance to these procedures, to these policies. And of course, we schedule compliance audits regularly, and also try to remain and stay current with the ever-changing laws and regulations in the environment where we operate.
There must be rules, regulations, standards, policies that you comply to.
Last trip we were here, a batch came here for a contract job here, which was not properly pre-mobbed. When we went to look at the badge and the crane they brought, we saw that it didn't meet the standard because the badge has holes and the crane was a bit dilapidated and we didn't see the proper certifications. We are doing our best to see that we comply and follow the rules. We follow procedure, proper risk assessment. We also do fill our permits to work where we need permits to work. We do proper hazard analysis before we do. Even if a contractor comes in, we make sure you have all the certification. We make sure where you need to be given a permit, we assess what you are doing, watch what you are doing with the permit, whether it's right or wrong, so that I won't have incidents here or fatalities. We are doing our best to keep the standard. We have a card where we record every unsafe action on a safe condition. Now, when you see most of these reports we give, you give out a closeout, you give out a time frame. Now, when you close it fast and the personnel are held to it and they are being trained and they are being informed of why we are giving this recommendation, by so doing, we improve in HSE-wise.
Any contractor on site here that comes here, first of all, we have a full induction with him. When he brings us his own JHA and work method statement, we follow up and able to correct it properly whenever there's any error on it, so that at the end, they will be able to work safe. And we'll continue to follow up the job they are doing to make sure they are working safe. In any way they are not working safe, we'll correct them in order for them to work safe and go back home safely.
We have a procedure in Elcrest
which we follow in mitigating and preventing accident emergencies. One, we have adequate communication by way of conducting pep talk, toolbox meeting, and then identify hazards when you have a job to do. When you identify hazards, you bring out all the hazards and you risk assess it. And then you find, mitigating, measures to control it. And again, we have drills. You conduct drills to prepare personnel for, emergencies. You simulate that emergency to prepare them for, real emergencies. You do inspection of equipment, of all the tools, of either the contractors or even the ones that you are using to make sure that your equipment are fit for purpose. And then again, you do much of sensitization to people by way of training. You train people and then you make them to be aware of so many hazards that are associated with the job that they are doing.
We all know we have to comply with laid down rules, regulations, policies that guide our work in an environment like this.
Complying to HSE policies, complying to HSE procedures are very, very important. We take that very serious because if those compliance are not there, there's tendency for workers to get injured, there's tendency for damage to properties, there's tendency for impact to the environment.
And performance in Betiokun so far is highly rated, because we carry out toolbox meeting every day in the field. We ensure that any activity that we're embarking on, there's a risk assessment, there's a job method statement, and we also ensure that we put competent supervisors, to check, what they are doing. We ensure that we have safety trainings, on board, from time to time.
Where there are no rules and regulations, you don't have anything to comply with. For every site, there are specified rules and regulation procedures that you must follow. And those procedures that are already set on site are what you have to comply with. To comply with those rules and regulations, it means you have to be inducted. You have to know what those rules and regulations are. If you don't know them, you won't be able to comply with them. So the first thing to do is to understand what the rules and regulations are or what you need to comply with. And then once you understand them, you begin to comply with them.
Comply, what are you complying with? What does compliance mean? You are trying to say, obey something, obey safety rules, follow procedures, follow regulations, follow policies, follow standards and requirements.
Compliance is a very important principle in our industry. There are rules, there are processes, there are standards that have been set in place to guide and make our work safe and efficient. And it's important that we comply to those processes, to those regulations, to those standards to ensure that our work is done safe and is done efficiently as well.
Because of those conditions that people need to work, do the right thing, laws are put in place, policies are made. And it's expected that every worker complies, obeys those policies. Human nature, is characterized by sometimes nonchalance. Sometimes you need to, if you don't have law, if you don't have policies, if you don't have guide in a society, there's bound to be chaos. And it's the same thing in the work environment too. So the laws, the HSE laws, health, safety, environmental laws that guide the work are meant to be obeyed by the people. It's very, very important. Now that is the area of the compliance.
We also expect everyone involved in our operation to be his or her neighbor's keeper, by watching and intervening when any unsafe situation arises or is anticipated, so that we will not allow any incident or accident to happen if people properly intervene in a timely manner.
Intervention is something that is very close to my heart as a safety leader. And I come from the perspective of telling a story around intervention. Just for a moment, imagine that someone, a colleague of yours, who sees you as an extension of his family, is about to fall into a ditch and you didn't intervene, and the person falls into a ditch and a top event happens, the person dies in the process. I'm sure your conscience will beat you for the rest of your life. So that for me is where I drive the inspiration for intervention. And I encourage everybody who is very close to me to ensure that you intervene to avoid carrying guilt for the rest of your life. So there is power in intervention, but for you to intervene and make the intervention meaningful, that builds on the last anchor, which is respect. You also have to intervene respectfully. The way and manner you tell somebody that, and by the way, it's only a very good friend that will tell you that your mouth stinks. But the way you tell somebody that his or her mouth stinks will actually make the person and encourage the person to take appropriate actions. So respect is also a very key pillar, and I am very happy with the way Elcrest team chose the tripod. And the tripod today is that safety now is going to stand on 3 key pillars for Elcrest going forward, which is comply, intervene, and respect.
When you're carrying out your production and maintenance operation, every personnel must comply with the safety rules that the company has set up in our HSE management system, and particularly the 18 house rules. Now with the 18 house safety house rules, governing house rules, once you comply to those rules and you respect them, and
thank
of
you
course,
very much.
You comply in a way that will ensure
So
that
now
safety is
we still
the
have
watchword
exciting
and the follow-through
programs
safety.
coming up.
In our operations, most of the times
have the safety award announcement.
we work with
We also have
contractors,
fastest finger. We're going to
and we
test
ensure that these
our
contractors
skills.
follow
And
our
I'm sure you will have wonderful
stipulated
prizes.
regulations,
But
such
before
as
that,
oil
we'll
mineral
quickly
safety
take
regulation
the,
and EGASPIN.
respect part of the video.
These contractors
and
most times
break away for
bring in
15
equipment
minutes, have
and
feed
personnel
your
to
feedback
site. So we'll
before
ensure
we
that
go over
the equipments are
to
properly
the,
pre-mobbed.
fastest finger and
We'll ensure that
safety
the
awards.
personnel are properly
So let's sit back
inducted
and briefly
to
watch
ensure
the
that they
respect
follow
part of
the
our
regulatory
video production.
compliance, what is stipulated in EGASPIN, ensuring that the equipments are properly pre-mobbed, ensuring that the personnel who wants to carry out this job are competent to, to carry out the job, to avoid accident and incident. So these are things that we do. And in our operations, we also follow up with our equipment. Those who are due for certification, third-party certification, we certify them to ensure that we follow our policies, procedures, and the respective laws.
As I've said,
for you to
I have to
succeed in
intervene as a senior manager,
HSE business,
ensure that once that
you have to
compliance
comply with a lot of standards.
How do I intervene?
We have a lot
Now,
of
as an accountant and
guidelines,
CFO,
policies
there are several ways I can intervene.
that will lead us to best safety
deploying the right
practices,
morale,
both in our operation, not only just in our operation, you can also cascade it down to your home, because safety is everywhere. And that's why we continue to maintain that safety is a teamwork. Anywhere you are, within your family, it's a teamwork.
Make sure that it's done properly.
Outside the family, it's a teamwork. So that's why we maintain that these standards, once you comply with it, it will help you to improve your business financially, economically, and otherwise. But once you bypass all these policies.
Intervene as
That's exactly, you're heading to disaster. And that's exactly what happened.
Whatever unsafe act or situation we encounter, maybe conditions, we should intervene. Don't be like, turn your eyes the other way around when you see people really committing things that are not safe. Either if you see an unsafe condition or people acting unsafely, one should intervene. That's my understanding about intervening.
Some years back, we had this team. I remember your Elcrest came up with the team, the left side of the bow tie. So it's all about prevention, you know. So if we can prevent it, prevention in itself, you know, is a higher level of achieving our HAC goals rather than, you know, reacting to stop. So we want to have zero goal. Goal zero is the watchword. So I want to encourage the team to keep, you know, doing better each year. You know, we look at our statistics and we find out that we have done better than we did in the last year.
Intervene. It is something we normally say, when you see something, you say something. I will give you a typical example. There's one day they are resigned for. Rain was, people were rushing coming inside using their umbrellas. When you use the umbrella coming, you will drop water, another person drop water. Before you know it, trip and fall hazards start to happen. People will knock their head on the floor. It becomes a big distance. But it just started with a little drop of water, and it can lead that. That's why we normally say, when you see unsafe acts or unsafe condition, try to intervene. This intervention can help us to terminate it at incipient stage, and it will create a lot of values for us.
Regarding intervention, now this is a position that the leadership of Elcrest has taken, that no matter what level you are working within Elcrest, if you see an unsafe act, if you see a risky situation, whether in the office or in the field, you have the authority and the permission of the managing director, the chief operating officer, the chief financial officer, to the HSC manager to stop this particular operation and prevent any other work, no matter, nothing is more important going forward until the safety hazard is addressed.
Anytime I think about intervention, okay, what comes to mind is something not safe, something that shouldn't be, okay? And I underpin my intervene message on care. Care for environment, care for person, right? So when you care for persons, what it means is you will not want the person to get hurt in the line of duty or otherwise. When you care for the environment, bringing it again to the wells that we look after, you don't want to lose containment, because losing containment could lead to fluids going out of the envelope, and that will end up making a mess of our environment. So that's how we get the message across. Anytime we talk about intervene, I anchor it on the word care. To what extent do you care for individuals? To what extent do you care for the equipment and our environment?
In the course of doing our work as well, we do have the conditions that are unsafe and actions people take which could endanger other people. So we have to intervene.
Before you intervene, there must be unsafe act, unsafe condition which you intervene to. That's where we encourage people to use their stop work authority in doing interventions, mostly when it's life-threatening.
Recently, some contractor was sent out here to carry out repair of our baby fenders. Those two fenders you are seeing behind, you know. So the leadership here, both the Bajik and the HSC, because the guys came without our necessary requirements. Here, we have HSE requirements. As a contractor, before coming, we will let you know what you are supposed to come here with. Failure to do so, we cannot allow you to execute your projects. So in that direction, we had to stop the job until some documents were made available.
There is steady improvement in our HSE, our practice and activities, and that is why you don't see accident happening, you don't see near misses. All what we record are unsafe conditions and unsafe acts, and they are closed out as and when due. The ones that we cannot close out, maybe due to intervention of the management, we flag it to them, and they do their best to make sure that they are closed out timeously.
We intervene in an unsafe act, unsafe conditions, and during non-compliant actions.
There are situations intervene in the sense that you come in, talk to the workers politely. Make sure you talk to them politely. Don't shout on them. I've had occasions whereby some persons want to intervene. Instead of them to just politely talk to the workers, they shouted on the worker because already the worker is already agitated. So they shouted on the worker, and the worker responded by that shouting. And at the end of the day, they could not really intervene.
You intervene when you observe that.
Go for the breakaway session. We will reconvene by 12:30, and when we come back by 12:30, reps from each location would brief us their team's understanding of the two teams, intervene and respect. And like I said earlier, after that we'll still have the safety awards and the fastest finger. Safety award and fastest finger would come after the breakaway session and the feedback from the breakaway session. So we'll break away now and reconvene by 12:30. So let's break away now and reconvene by 12:30 p.m.
Intervene to make sure that it is not breached. Otherwise, it could result to not only penalties, it could also result to fatality, loss of lives, not to talk of loss of property, assets, and the likes.
The activities. As I've said, I have to intervene as a senior manager, ensure that once that compliance is not there, how do I intervene? Now, as an accountant and CFO, to be specific, there are several ways I can intervene. Deploying the right morale, deploying funds, ensuring adequate budget so that those things that we deem that are unsafe are adequately intervened or catered for. So that's a key part of my role in intervening.
We intervene to make sure that it's done properly. We stop the work. We delay the work. We give them time to really think through it and make sure that nothing gets wrong in what they do. We pride ourselves in the fact that after the 7/7 incident, we've not had a situation where people go to our site to work and they come back hot. They rather come back happier because they had complied to the rules.
Intervene as it relates to HSC, to me, my understanding is like whatever unsafe act or situation we encounter, maybe conditions, we should intervene. Don't be like turn your eyes the other way around when you see people really committing things that are not safe. Either if you see an unsafe condition or people acting unsafely, one should intervene. That's my understanding about intervening.
Some years back, we had this team. I remember your Elcrest came up with the team, the left side of the bow tie. So it's all about prevention, you know. So if we can prevent it, prevention in itself, is a higher level of achieving our HSE goals rather than, reacting to stop. So we want to have zero goal. Goal zero is the watchword. So I want to encourage the team to keep, doing better each year. We look at our statistics and we find out that we have done better than we did in the last year.
Intervene. It is something we normally say, when you see something, you say something. I will give you a typical example. There's one day they are resigned for. Rain was, people were rushing coming inside using their umbrellas. When you use the umbrella coming, you will drop water, another person drop water. Before you know it, trip and fall hazards start to happen. People will knock their head on the floor. It becomes a big distance. But it just started with a little drop of water, and it can lead that. That's why we normally say, when you see unsafe acts or unsafe condition, try to intervene. This intervention can help us to terminate it at incipient stage, and it will create a lot of values for us.
Regarding intervention, now this is a position that the leadership of Elcrest has taken, that no matter what level you are working within Elcrest, if you see an unsafe act, if you see a risky situation, whether in the office or in the field, you have the authority and the permission of the managing director, the chief operating officer, the chief financial officer, to the HSE manager to stop this particular operation and prevent any other work, no matter, nothing is more important going forward until the safety hazard is addressed.
Anytime I think about intervention, what comes to mind is something not safe, something that shouldn't be. And I underpin my intervene message on care. Care for environment, care for person, right? So when you care for persons, what it means is you will not want the person to get hurt in the line of duty or otherwise. When you care for the environment, bringing it again to the wells that we look after, you don't want to lose containment, because losing containment could lead to fluids going out of the envelope, and that will end up making a mess of our environment. So that's how we get the message across. Anytime we talk about intervene, I anchor it on the word care. To what extent do you care for individuals? To what extent do you care for the equipment and our environment?
In the course of doing our work as well, we do have the conditions that are unsafe and actions people take which could endanger other people. So we have to intervene.
Before you intervene, there must be unsafe act, unsafe condition which you intervene to. That's where we encourage people to use their stop work authority in doing interventions, mostly when it's life-threatening.
Recently, some contractor was sent out here to carry out repair of our baby fenders. Those two fenders we are seeing behind, So the leadership here, both the budget and the HSE, because the guys came without our necessary requirements. Here, we have HSE requirements. As a contractor, before coming, we will let you know what you are supposed to come here with. Failure to do so, we cannot allow you to execute your projects. So in that direction, we had to stop the job until some documents were made available.
When somebody is committing an unsafe act and an unsafe condition, and you try to let the person understand why he has to do the right thing from doing the wrong thing. And if you do what is right, he will prevent accident from happening on site. But if you continue to do that which is wrong and you do not intervene, one day the person will be exposed to accident, and the accident certainly will occur.
Situation where you see somebody not following standard, not obeying safety rules, not complying, you have to intervene. Intervention is saying, to intervene means to say, oh, my friend, this direction.
Intervention is execution, then, and not let the situation go on to a point where an incident will be caused.
Issue of intervention has to do with being your brother's keeper. Now we build a culture at work where you have to watch out for what the other guy is doing, especially when he's doing the wrong thing. The intention with intervention is that you go meet him, talk to him, tell him, look, what you are doing is not right. There's a better way of doing it.
You can only intervene if you have respect for your colleagues, you have respect for our stakeholders, you have respect for everyone around you. So we expect that people, all of us, should comply, intervene, and respect these rules, policies, and their colleagues working around them, and ensuring that the culture is, consolidated over time. And this is the only way we can safely operate and remain a viable business, because without good HSE performance, then our business is threatened. The lives of our breadwinners every day, with the expectation from their families to return to them standing, will not be guaranteed, and we do not want that to happen in our operation.
As a company that is very entrenched in proper culture, we expect people to then carry out those interventions with respect, especially from the angle of educating others.
How do I respect the whole HSE architecture of the company? And it's very key. It's a message that we emphasize, that rather than do an unsafe act, we put a stop to it. And for me, that shows respect, not just for the HSE culture, but for the HSE department. We continue to emphasize empowering the HSE, showing them enough respect, listening, allowing them to guide us in such a way that once that tone at the top, the face of the company has changed, and we continue, as my role, we continue to comply, I continue to intervene, and I continue to respect.
In helping people to comply, we do it respectfully. That way it makes it easy for them to follow through. We lead by examples, so we follow it, and then it's easy for them to come through, to really see that indeed, we do not just comply, we intervene when others are not, and we do it respectfully. So the team for this year really cuts it and brings the facts and brings the message down home to ensure that it's not just I who wants to comply, but other people that I meet and I know and make sure they comply. On a few occasions, I've had to stop friends who are going down the staircase and at the same time using their phones. So even in the office here, we had gently and friendly consulted these ones and asked them to stop. And they really did stop. And interestingly, these ones appreciated and they come back to thank you. And so that's something that we also want to invite this year, to make sure that people do not just comply, but when they see someone who is not complying, they intervene and they do it respectfully. So that's something that I would like them to carry on board. And as a GM facilities for Elcrest, this is my main message to my team. I'm committed to it, and I'm not telling them to do what I say, but I'm telling them to look at me and do just as I'm doing, because I will comply, I will intervene when I say something that is wrong, and I will do it respectfully.
Respect covers respect for co-workers, respect for neighbors, or respect for people we interact with on a day-to-day basis, and even those that are HSE marshals as they come around. We should respect them, listen to them, and then work together to promote HSE as environment. That's my understanding.
when we look at the aspect of respect, when you are trying to intervene on always respect, we have safety culture. Those little cultures, you have respect. I may be the manager. If I want my direct report to do something, even if he have annoyed me, that little respect that is entitled to respect him while dishing instructions, that will help us, all of us, to grow. So even in the communities, our stakeholders, when you go to their
everyone,
communities, maybe there is
we'll
a
go
spillage.
straight
You don't
to
just come and
feedback from
enter
team.
into the facilities.
The first team
Maybe you have
who will be making their
destroyed their
presentation is
farmland,
PRVS.
their fishing pond,
Prince,
and everything.
confirm you can
The
hear me,
respect,
and if you
you
can,
have to give
please
them
go
that
ahead and
notifying them that
do
we are
your,
here to find out what has
give us your
happened
feedback,
and how to mitigate
your
it.
team feedback.
That is the respect.
BRVS, you have the
respect
mic
is
now.
reciprocal.
Respect for me is the golden rule. Okay. And again, I anchor it on ability to
go ahead,
see
go
the
ahead,
other
BRVS.
perspective. If
Prince,
you have
go
an
ahead.
understanding of the other perspective, if you have an understanding of where the other person is coming from, most often than not, you are going to be able to align with that person. And that comes to mind about dealing with my stakeholders. You know, we have a hash of stakeholders we deal with here, from the regulators to our partners. And we do have reasons to disagree.
Feedback now.
So, but the question is, how do you go through the process
intervene
of
and respect?
an aligned position?
Summarize your team's view in 2 minutes.
Benefit of seeing the other perspective.
Benin.
You have to spend the time to understand where the other person is coming from. Because unless you understood where the person is coming from, alignment is going to be difficult. And for you to align with the other person, you must show a reasonable amount of respect.
You have to respect people that you work with.
Your team's view in 2 minutes.
People, their host communities.
Intervene and respect
the stakeholders. So, in summary, the comply, intervene, and respect aptly.
We set up teams and complete it with teams.
It's like to me we're setting up.
Back to this new session. All right, so
Most people don't read the chat. Even here now, nobody is in.
But it doesn't look like you are connected to the live system.
Okay. So that's why the other one was failing.
Cindy, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but I don't know if you can hear us as well.
These guys are working. Where is
Can you hear us?
BRVS.
No, James, he's not able.
And if there's any case where there has to be an override, there has to be a change of management system. So the right answer is false. Okay, so yes, Camry and Cindy has the highest answer streak, meaning she has gotten the last 6 answers correct. Another quiz, double points this time around. Do not work under a suspended load. This is Elcrest's life-saving rule number what? Is it number 3, number? So this is a multi-select question as well as it has double points, meaning you can choose more than one answer. What should you do if you notice a hazard in the workplace? Try to remove the hazard safely. Report it to the on-site supervisor or manager. Report it using a safety observation card. Ignore it and continue working. So what we're trying to say today is comply, respect, intervene. So if you see something that you think you can remove safely, a hazard that you can think you remove safely, that's part of an intervention. So you can try to remove the hazard safely if it's possible. You can also report what you see or what you've been able to observe to the on-site manager or supervisor, and at the same time to report it using the safety observation card. Okay, Cindy is now in the lead, followed by a woman, Olamin, IAZ, and KK. So another quiz. In case of fire emergency, do not use the elevator, do not remain calm and evacuate the location, do not call emergency services, do not attempt to extinguish the fire even if it's small and contained. So yes, the right answer is you do not use the elevator. But then if there is a fire, you can remain calm, evacuate the location. You can also call emergency services, and then you can also attempt to extinguish the fire if it is small and contained. Cindy remaining strong in the lead, a woman as well. Amin too, strong in the lead. Camp Glory back in the top 5. Congratulations. Another quiz. What is the appropriate action to take if you discover a damaged electrical cord? Use electrical tape to repair it. Continue to use it, but with caution, like most people here in the office. Report it to the office assistant and request a new cord. Ignore it. It is not a safety concern. So select the right answer. We have about 5 seconds left on the clock. So the correct answer is when you see it is when the cord you're using is damaged, please report it to the office assistant and request a new one. Under no circumstances should you manage or ignore concerns such as these. Cindy, the top 5 remaining strong. Cindy, the lead, Ewoma, Olamin in the top 3. And Favor is back on the lead in the board with 3, which has gotten the last 3 questions correct. Okay, double points this time around. What is the maximum permissible exposure limit for noise in the workplace? 85 decibels, 100 decibels for any duration, 120 decibels for an unlimited duration. There is no limit for noise pollution. So the right answer is 85 decibels for an 8-hour time-weighted average. Who got that right? Wow. We still have Cindy in the lead, Ewoma, Olamin, Pink D, and Ezekiel. All right. I think this is the final question. What should be the first step during an emergency evacuation drill? Do you wait for instructions from your supervisor? Do you panic and run towards the exit? Fast. Do you pick up your personal belongings and exit the location, or proceed calmly to the nearest exit? So the right answer is for you to proceed calmly to the nearest exit. So 19 people got that right. So let's see who the winner of the Elcrest 2024 Safety Day Quiz is. In third place, we have Olamin. In second place, we have Ewoma, and drum roll, please. In first place, we have Cindy. So congratulations to Cindy and the rest of the team. So for the fifth place, the fourth and fifth place, we have cash prize of cash voucher of 10,000 naira. For second place, Olamin, we have cash voucher of 20,000 naira. Second place, Ewoma, cash voucher of 30K. And for Cindy, the champion of today, we have a cash voucher of 50,000 naira. Congratulations to the winners.
Thank you and congratulations to the winners of the quiz. It shows you are knowledgeable in this year's team. And apologies to those on the field that are having network challenges. Is in no way intentional. Is what network can do. And is a learning lesson for us. We are promising to improve on it the next time. Please bear with us. I know how you feel now. Please and please bear with us. Having said that, Kema will still continue to announce the winners of this year's HSC award. Remember, we have 2 special awards this year, the CEO's award and the Managing Director's award. Thank you. Kema, over to you.
Thank you, Charles. So, like I said, it's raining money today. Cash everywhere. So, just like what Charles said, this year we have the CEO's award as well as the MD's award. This is the first time in the history of the Elcrest Safety Day that we're having these awards. So earlier in the month, I think the team sent out a link for people to nominate and vote for who they think deserves safety awards for the year. So people who have displayed, people and or teams that have displayed exceptional safety performance in all of their endeavors while carrying out their duty to deliver on all of Elcrest's tasks and all of the KPI activities. So the results are in, and I'll be going through them one by one to show you who has displayed exceptional safety, performance, and culture within the year. So for the first award for the best contractor performance management, we have the Joesco Nigeria Limited. So Joesco has all-round excellent safety performance by crude oil injection team at BEL&EL. So congratulations to the Joesco team in the BEL&EL location. Second award, Best Management of Change. This award goes to the production/maintenance team, that's the trade/bankerless team. They demonstrated excellent understanding of requirements for MOC for the high-risk STS operations, ensured that all procedures were followed and all equipment met the required standard. They also ensured that there was effective communication within the team and with management to ensure continued seamless operations. So congratulations to the production and maintenance team. Achievements of best-in-class man-hours LTI-free in their own activities. So this is a team that has carried out operations and then they had 0 LTI and then they're able to achieve all of their tasks and projects with no issues at all. So best in class. And that award goes to the facilities department. So the facilities team for successfully delivering over 10 key projects which were geared towards overall improved safety without any major incidents. Congratulations to the facilities team on this award. Moving on, we have an award that is going to the outstanding team with a HSC record or achievement. So that's going to the over 40 badging team. Congratulations on your award. So it is the exceptional management of high-risk operations. So the team demonstrated outstanding performance in handling potential hazardous mitigations and high-risk operations carried out by third-party injectors. Their unwavering commitment to safety and operational excellence has been pivotal in achieving this feat. So congratulations to the over 40 badging team. Now, so the Best HSC Performance Award. This award is the excellent HSC application in all work duties and giving useful safety moments in daily operation meetings. The Best HSC Performance Award goes to Prince Oji. Prince Oji is the BRBS coordinator. Congratulations to you, Prince Oji. Okay. Another award or next award is Best HSC Representative for demonstrating excellent performance in drilling campaign without LTI and providing timely mitigations to hazards/risks during operations. The award for Best HSC Representative goes to Isaiah Ekokotu, who is the well site HSC supervisor. Congratulations to you, Isaiah. Okay. The next award is Extraordinary Intervention. Now, this person liaised with the building authorities to provide blind spot mirror at the Lagos office entrance gate, which was responsible for multiple near misses when cars are driving in and out. This award goes to Charles Abaronian, who is the Elcrest Corporate Safety Officer, resident at the Elcrest office.
Not me. Who nominated?
Okay, so on to the next one. This award is Best Impactful Observation Reporter. So this is the person that submitted the best safety observation in the year between last year, July, and now. The observation was this. This person observed personnel operating the wielding pump for bulking of chemicals without a whip check, and stopped the operation, educated the team on the importance of a whip check in any operation, of which the team complied, conducted the test, and then continued with the operation. So this award goes to Duke Umo Jagwe, who is a BEL&EL plant operator. So congratulations to you, Duke. Now, before we move into the COO and the MD's award, every single person and team that I mentioned has a cash prize of 100,000 naira. So for every name I've listed here before now, you have a cash prize of 100,000 naira. So Duke
and plaque.
And the plaque. So Duke, Charles, Prince, all of that, the facilities team, on the 40 value team, you as an individual as well as the ones that won as a group have a cash prize of 100,000 naira. So going into the CEO's award, like I said, the first time in history, the CEO award is giving a prize for outstanding individual HSC achievement in the environment category. This person coordinated the entire marine spread, preaching safety policies and compliance to safety rules and to all the workforce, coordinated the evacuation of about 80 shuttle vessels to BRVS without incident or accident. His team is superb to ensure all marine workers comply to PPE policy and unsafe acts and condition observations are reported regularly. This person has been on top to stop any community restiveness and capable of stopping operations. His monitoring skill to ensure no single spill is recorded is outstanding. He provides solutions to the entire spread on best modalities to effectively handle their job. He drew a plan to ensure marine workforce clean the water body from time to time of unwanted materials. And this COO award goes to Engineer Chinedu Okabi Joseph, who is the badging coordinator for Elcrest at the Betiokun location. Chinedu, you have won for yourself, in addition to the claim for the first CEO's award recipient, you've also won a cash prize of 150,000 naira. Congratulations to you, Chinedu. Not Ilo, Chinedu Okabi. Now for the grand prize of the MB's award. And this award is Outstanding Individual HSC Achievement in the Safety category. So these individuals, unwavering commitment to compliance, proactive interventions, fostering a culture of respect has significantly enhanced our safety standard. Worthy of note is his proactive intervention in Betiokun field, where he took out time to clear the grasses in critical areas, wow, when the grass cutting work stopped due to contractual issues. Wow, wow, wow. A round of applause for Wesley Omar Bemi, who is the Unitop Room Service Officer located at Betioku. Wesley, as the first recipient of the Elcrest MD Award, you've also received for yourself a cash prize of 200,000 naira. Congratulations to you all. Congratulations to all of the winners in the of today.
Thank you, Kema, and congratulations to the award winners, including my humble self. At this juncture, let me invite the GM Commercials on behalf of the CFO to give us the closing remarks. Thank you. Okay.
Right, thank you. So before we get into the closing remarks, I think wherever you are, even if you can do it virtually, I think the Elcrest team that put together this wonderful event deserve a round of applause. So even if you are doing it virtually, please give the organizers a round of applause. Right. Secondly, for them to then deliver on this beautiful event, they have been greatly supported by Elcrest management. And you will see that as part of the program, we got some very encouraging words from our chairman. So at this point, I would also like us to give a round of applause to the chairman and the board and management of Elcrest. Thank you. And for every one of us who have attended the events and have participated through the quiz and all the very nice programs of today, I think we all deserve to give ourselves a round of applause. Right. I think the message is very crisp, it's very clear, and it's very sharp. And I think for a long time, these messages will reverberate with all of us. Again, if I go back to the opening speech from the MD, CEO's comments, the CEPLA CEO's comments, it's clear that we want to prioritize safety. And the 3 tripods that we have chosen for this year's Safety Day celebration are quite crucial. I'm just going to reiterate those 3 tripods of comply, intervene, and respect. And I think, I cannot say it any better than the various speakers have said it. If we stick to these 3 important pillars of this year's theme, I'm sure as Elcrest, we will continue on the trajectory of improving in our safety culture, our safety awareness, and our safety practices. I also want to take this opportunity to thank and appreciate our JV partner, NEPL. They have been very supportive and they have participated very actively in this event as well. Other than that, I thank you all. We continue to remember the 7 lives in our daily dealings. We continue to pray for their families. And then we carry all of the good messages of today with us and then put them in use in our daily activities. And hopefully next year, we will be back to celebrate even more. I thank you all and then wish everybody a good week ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And thank you to all of us. Assuring us that by this time next year, we will still gather to celebrate another free incident year, adding to our free LTI man hours is an assurance, and I want each and every one of us to assure ourselves and the organization that we can do it. Together, we can do it. Thank you, and have a safe and incident-free year ahead. Thank you.